Okay, let's hope this time it works. I'm glad I didn't get very far with my trail of thought, otherwise I would have been pissed. So my video froze and I have to redo it, basically. So that episode of Orphan Black was pretty intense. I'm glad Krystal's back. I kind of missed her, but I'm also trying to figure out how she got out of the hospital. Last I recall seeing her is having an eye patch and seeing Delphine and being in the hospital. So maybe I'm missing something from the other season, or maybe there's something yet to be told how she gets out. I don't really know. I don't remember, and I want to know. So if I am misinformed, feel free to, let me know. So seeing her is actually funny. And then, of course, having her work I can't say work with Donnie, but having Donnie kind of in the same scene as her, and he's like, I don't want to touch her. Like, you could see it on his face that he didn't want to touch her because, obviously, it's not his wife, and he doesn't really know her all that well. And he's like, oh, Dr. Comier? And she's like, what? It's like, oh, about that. Don't worry, you're fine. You're in good hands. No, I'm not. So hopefully Donnie makes it out of there with only a broken nose. I don't know that anybody else knows he's in there besides Cosima, and we were left kind of on a cliffhanger with that. Cosima talked to Susan Duncan, and that was it. So whether or not she left or looked for Donnie is, I guess, still up for debate. Hopefully, Donnie doesn't return, a couple days later and shows up to Allison and her being like, oh my God, what happened to you? This is the last time I'm taking you somewhere or letting you go somewhere because, whatever. He's pretty resilient though, so he'll probably bounce back from that. What else? Oh, that guy. What's his name? The weird detective guy who Beth didn't like, I guess. The name escapes me, but when he kind of confronted Art saying like, oh, don't you see a resemblance to Beth? I don't know what you're talking about. Very, very playing the poker face. Art is very good at the poker face. Obviously he's drinking coffee, he can hide behind the coffee, but he has a pretty good poker face. Even in like the first season when he's still figuring stuff out, he didn't really show emotion that much. And when he did, obviously it was, towards Beth, or rather Sara being his Beth. So, I mean, hey, whatever. I don't know what the guy wanted Art to say. He's not going to crack under pressure. At least let's hope not. But it's kind of funny how the drugs and the soap kind of circles around. Glad we touched upon that and brought it back. Hopefully Allison doesn't go to jail, because that would be awkward and unfortunate. Or Donnie, for that matter. Let's see what else. I don't like Adele. And not because I'm in the same boat as Sara, that she's a neo-illusionist or whatever. But that I just don't like her. Like, she is, I can't say she's an alcoholic, but she drinks a lot. She's kind of a druggie. She's getting Felix back on that path. And I just don't like her. Like, I don't. She started playing the Felix, snot card when Sara confronted them at dinner. And, whatever. Like, she just got very attitude-y, and it was dumb. So jumping around though with my topics, but so Cosima of course, she's in the doctor outfit when she's snooping around the facility, and when she sees the baby, it's kind of I guess it's kind of good for the audience to see that she's going this far and that someone's having the baby, and then of course then she sees Susan Duncan, and then all hell breaks loose. But that the baby's face is so deformed when they come out, and yes, it's part of the experiment, but I know they knocked the parents out, or the mother out, so it's kind of like, whatever, but that is, wouldn't all babies end up becoming, looking the same? Due to, I know how babies are made, so don't get me wrong here, but, you change the embryo, that is that person's DNA, but if they're going to be experimenting Or maybe they inflicted whatever on the embryos to make it look like whatever, like the little girl that Rachel's with, Charlotte, like Charlotte. Maybe they're all gonna end up like Charlotte. You know, you don't know. So seeing the deformed face and then, you know, changing that into like a baby with dimples, I don't know. I want to see more. I want to see more. It's like a horror movie, kinda, sorta. So that's awesome. And then of course Susan Duncan tells Cosima, you know, oh, you know, this could save you and whatever. Like, is Cosima gonna stray in that direction? Is she gonna stay with her sestras? Like, what's going on here? And then of course the big finale here of, you know, the end of the episode when like Ira's in the pool. And it was funny because I was anticipating when that was going to happen in the episode. I saw I think it was the Orphan Black Facebook page had posted, and he's leaning on the edge of the pool, and it mentions like Cruel Intentions. Wasn't Cruel Intentions flashback, but it was like Cruel Intentions thoughts or something, because he's laying there, because they do the same kind of scene in Cruel Intentions. So that, you know, that scene, and then friggin' Susan Duncan goes in the pool, and I'm like, what is going on here? What is this? Come on now, what? And they get closer and closer. I'm like, no, that can't be true. And yep, no, it's wrong on so many levels. Can't fall in love with your clone, like, or your experiment, because if he dies, you're gonna be heartbroken. And I guess, well, you could just make another one, but you know, not all of them are like that. So, I don't know, lots of different pieces to put together for the next episode, in terms of what Donnie found out about Krystal, if Krystal's gonna get involved with the other clones, and what Cosima found out in the facility. Like, I have to mention, when she's taking pictures of stuff, I know they're making a point, being in the, like the film industry or whatever, that you need to have the click to know she's taking a picture, but come on now. In theory, if you're trying to be super secret, you're going to turn off your sound. You're going to do it really, like, quietly and stealthy so that nobody knows what you're doing. Come on now. I'm like the pro at that. You turn it off and you kind of do one of these, and you drop it down. You don't do the you don't do that. It's just silly. What else? I think that's actually it. That was all from memory. And seeing as I, you know, am very anxious, I guess is the word, about this episode, clearly I remember stuff and I don't have to write it down. I don't know. Because it depends on the episode. This one drew me in, and I kept in, and just I hope it gets better from here. It will. There's no what if. It will get better from here. So I look forward to the next episode, and there's your review for this past episode.